All right, what is up, guys? So, well, I just want to start off saying a couple things. One, this has no relevancy on the video or anything in general. But I do want to mention that I know in a lot of my PvP videos I upload, a lot of you are say like, hey, you want me to show my kit, before, like have like a part of the beginning where I show my kit, that type of thing. And I will say that I don't have a problem doing it. However, generally speaking, I can't do it for a numerous amount of reasons. One, I've lost the kit, which happens pretty often. That's usually the thing that end up happening. Or two, that the clips I use are spread out from across like a whole stream or two or three streams, so there's different kits being used in each clip. So there's if I ever don't show the clip in a video or the kit at the beginning of the video, from now on, generally just assume that's what it is. I lost the kit, or I mean, I could have just forgot or anything, right? But other than that, one more thing I will say is instead of doing daily uploads, I'm probably gonna start pushing back to either every other day. I mean, I may still do daily here, but I'm not like too sold on that. Um, the main reason is it's not that I don't want to, but like I feel like the thing is like what I'm gonna, especially like right now towards the end of the wipe, my desire to play the game is like really really low right now, just because wipe's coming up, and I don't really feel like playing solos or anything, just for the purpose of making content. If I really want to play the game, I want to play trios because that's all I really enjoy. Other than that, though, yeah. But at the start of next wipe, every single day, I'm gonna have at least one video out, maybe more. Who knows? Uh, Definitely possible. But with that being said, getting into this video, so this is something I know a lot of people have been asking for, and it's something I've done in the past on multiple occasions, but I haven't done it in a very long time. These are going to be fight breakdowns. I have three fights here. I have this one, which is one of the fights in my recent videos, and I have two more that I don't believe ever made it into there. Actually, I don't know why this one didn't. So maybe I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, some of these are relatively short, and then like the other like the first fight's really short, and this one and the next one are relatively long. But yeah, so I'm just gonna be talking about the fight, explaining my thought process, that type of thing. And the videos will be muted just for the purpose. Actually, nah, I'll probably play it just for the sake of having the sound. So if there's any comms that are relevant. So to start off with, in this clip, what happened was we killed a team here originally. Up here we were coming to these blues because we thought everybody in the lobby was dead. We killed the team up here. Chulo was over here. If you're looking at my mouse, you see that's what I'm talking about. Chulo was over here towards the right side, and he got chased by a team, and he ran to us, and then this fight happened. That might be a demon. That might be a demon. Fighter, double warlock. And I call it could be demon because you see fighter double warlock, and that's just I mean that's a weird comp. In a comp like this, generally speaking, especially looking the way this guy is, like a Yearmanbu and stuff, like you would assume it's a demon. This kind of looks like the Kuma's guy I died to in duos. Other than that, I'm just sitting here playing crossbow. He makes a crazy dodge, but then he just has to open it. So keeping crossbow shots off, headshot him. And this right here is something that's very important. Is ideally I want to buy as much time as possible here to keep these guys out. Wait, so wait, just play the whole thing. Hold on. Okay, that's cool. I have no idea. I'm trying to make sure this plays the whole clip. Play run this way. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, it does. Okay, never mind. So one thing is here is when you're playing greats like these, you always want to, if possible, because these guys are playing a triple melee comp, right? Like I mean, at least that's guaranteed. None of them are casting, and in a comp like this, these two warlocks, they will beat me. I mean, they definitely can beat me melee, and Apollo does almost no damage to these guys because these guys are both probably going to be like 60%, 70% MR, guaranteed. That's just because that's what this kit runs. You see they're running MR pieces. Boo, Splendid Cloak, that type of thing. So you guys are gonna be very tanky. So in a fight like this, you have to be very, very careful about taking it. You never want like if all three of these guys come through this grade at the same time and we have to fight them, we are dead. Because the problem then becomes if the warlocks run in our wizard, we can't do anything to them, right? Because either we're chasing after them while somebody's hitting us, or they just phantomize through straight onto Apollo. And in a tight space like this, they can't really we can't really do anything, and Apollo can't just slam them fireballs to splash them. Or even worse, if all three of them come in instead of just the warlocks, what happens is the warlocks and the double fighters are now fighting me and Chulo in melee, and then Apollo he can throw zaps here and there, try to lightning strike, but it's a really weird spot. It's really closed in quarter, so Apollo can't really do much there. So I know the most important thing here is I need to keep these guys locked out as long as possible. We got one of them to phantomize through, which is really good. So this is like literally that guy phantomizing through is like the best possible situation for us. He's now wasted his phantomize, so he can't run away if he gets low, and he's in here by himself, so which gives my team all the time. So now Apollo can throw spells at him in the phantomize. Chulo can wait for him and fight him when he comes out. All of these things, and I know that if I hold here, I can at least hold one person through this door guaranteed. The other warlock could phantomize or something, but I know sitting on this grate, I am confident enough in my body locking abilities. I can keep these guys out. And you see they're trying to open it, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna try to move my, like I'm gonna like how I'm trying to position here is I'm trying to position close enough to the middle. I messed up here. I moved over a little bit to the left. I should have moved more to the right here. That I let the warlock come through, and I thought the warlock wasn't gonna make it. I thought he was gonna get body blocked on his fighter right here because it kind of looks like he is. But I moved over to the left too much, and the warlock makes it through. And then this guy makes it through, and the thing is, like, this isn't even that bad, truthfully speaking. Yes, if I kept them both locked out, it would have been better. However, once again, funneling them through one by one is very, very good, because now I can take the one-on fight with this guy. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought the other warlock was gonna die before this, but these guys' gear is like really insane. So, and then the fighter comes in here, and now I have two choices. See, because I was chasing this warlock, right? And this warlock, you know, I hit him a few times. He got hit by a couple things. I got him off of Apollo. I'm pushing him back in this corner. And you see, like, he's all over here. He's kind of isolated. So there's a couple things to take note of in this fight. One, both of the warlocks are over here on this right side. Chulo's right here. Chulo's half HP. He's been boxing this guy. I know both of these warlocks are at least kind of weak because we've all hit them decently. However, this fighter over here is completely full HP. His second wind's popped. He's completely full HP, and he's coming in. So I have two plays here. One of them is to continue fighting these warlocks here, and that could work. Yes, however, that is much more iffy, you can say, because the thing is, like, yes, I am fine right here in terms of my HP. I am not likely to die. However, the issue with this is when this fighter over here runs in. I mean, when this fighter over here runs in, what's going to happen is he's either going to run at Apollo, who's over here on my left, like in this little cubby right here. He's either going to run at Apollo, and then our wizard's out of the fight, and he's getting chased by this fighter that could definitely kill him because the fighter, you know, he's got an MR build. You can see just because from the gear he has on, who can definitely kill him. Let me make sure my okay. Or the fighter comes through and runs right here at Chulo, and then my only play is I have to continue fighting the warlocks while Chulo is guaranteed dead because I can't go behind the fighter. Because if I go behind the fighter, then Apollo can't hit him. And even with him being an MR build, Apollo is the one that's going to do the most damage to him. Like I said, yes, he could try to throw zaps, try to throw lightning strikes, but that's a much iffier situation. And Apollo, then these warlocks over here could run at Apollo. Like, you know, the one I was fighting for, he can run at Apollo. So, my choice here that I make, that I do believe is the correct one, is I go to try to block this fighter off. Because, you know, I even look back at this warlock to see what he's doing here, just like right before. Like, you know, I check back over, I see them, and this is the point in the fight where I think he killed the other warlock, right? Fighters coming in. Yes, yeah, he killed the other warlock, which is really good. And the thing is, like, and this is the reason this all happens because once again, this guy came in way too early. He let himself get get locked off by the grate. He also took a headshot before, and that headshot had to do at least 30% of his health bar. Because I mean, at the end of the day, he's not super tanky, and a crossbow does hit pretty hard. So this guy gets locked in this whole time. He gets hit with spells. He has Chulo fighting him. So this guy kind of griefed himself. And like I said, this also plays into the fact of it. Chulo had time to kill this guy. So now, instead of the fight being a, Instead of the fight being a 3v3, it's a 3v2. Even if for temporarily. And yes, does Chulo die immediately after? Yeah, pretty much. However, he has all this time kiting it out that I'm sitting here fighting this fighter that allows Paulo to also get damage in on the warlock. And you can even see, Apollo still almost dies to this guy. But I'm just sitting here keeping the fight busy. And this right here is one of those things that you kind of just have to trust your team. Like, you know, even though Chulo's low, I know I've hit this warlock a few times, and I know Apollo still has spells. So, actually, I don't, honestly, truthfully speaking, I actually don't think he had that many spells. I think he was missing fireballs here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was one. I mean, does he say it back here? I think he does. Let's see.
I only got one fireball.
Okay, yeah. So he doesn't have any fireballs here after that. So that's another thing that makes this really bad is because if he has fireballs, this warlock pushing him is way harder for the warlock. But with him not having fireballs, it's way more dangerous because he has to, like I said, land lightning strikes, zaps, or magic missiles. But the warlock does have a heater shield, so it's not as consistent. That's one of the reasons this fight got as close as it did. So I'm sitting here keeping the fighter distracted, and I'm just kind of trusting my team. And truthfully speaking, he does get incredibly low. But yeah, I'm sitting here just fighting out the fighter. And then right here, this is something that the fighter messed up really bad here. So he should have been moving with his back to the grate, which he could have done it right here, but he stopped and he crouched to try to block, and that gave me the chance to move around him, and I body block him into the lightning strike here, and he dies. But overall, this was the thing about this fight is, had this fight not been this late in the game, and had we not already known we killed most of the lobby, this would have been a really bad spot for us, because the only res we had was up here, like over here in front of the shrine room, like up in the little cubby. But most people were dead, and we knew that, so we were able to res Chulo. We got all the gear, and everything was fine. Um,
I'm gonna
Overall,
get one
what would
fireball.
have been ideal here in this fight that I can go back to and look at is if we lock them out in total, like right here, instead of letting this guy in, if we lock them out so Apollo could meditate, it would have been way better. But I mean, with him phantomizing like this, it's just there's no way I can lock him out. Truthfully speaking, like it's not possible, and so he's not gonna be able to do it. But he was playing down spells. Other than that, I think our fight was played pretty well. I think I did make one crucial mistake of not of letting him through here. Right here, I should have locked. If I locked both of these guys out here, this fight's guaranteed free. Because the other warlock's dead before they get in, and now it's a 3v2 with all of us at full HP basically.
You're working, Jewel on me.
Also, like I said,
Okay.
I think right here I could have committed to this warlock. The thing is, like, it's a hard situation though, because this guy could have phantomize, and the thing is, like, is if I commit to this guy really hard and then he phantomizes and runs away, and now Apollo gets chased by the fighter out and Apollo dies, it's just a weird situation because Chulo would be low, the fighter, is still full HP. I am too, but it's just like an iffy situation. The warlock could run away, get a surge off, come back while we're trying to like kill the fighter or something. So, like I said, overall, I do think I made the correct decision here by turning and going to this fighter after he came in. I mean, in a comp like this where you're playing with no cleric, no healer, no sustain, you just sometimes, especially in messy fights where it's a bunch of melee characters, people are gonna die. You can't always play to keep everyone alive. You just have to kind of get used to that. But yeah, that's kind of my thought process for that fight. If you guys have any questions about anything for this fight, feel free to let me know. But with that, I will be moving on to the. Honestly, I could just call it there for the video, but I'll do one more. I'll do a quick one. I'm not gonna do this one. I'll just do this quick one because I think this one's way more simple, and there's not as much to talk about. So one thing, we open this door, we push through, we immediately see doors open, dead bodies. I look, these people are here. Wizard, cleric, barb. So automatically, I know this is kind of a scary comp for me to fight because I don't really do well against the front line. If possible, I would like to get past him. Yes, we can kill them. However, if it's a very tanky barbarian, he's kind of going to outlast our damage, especially if he has things like Savage Roar. So it's really hard to fight the front line here. So I am going to look for a chance to get past him. You see me going for crossbow shots here. This guy walks in here and kind of griefs. I don't even honestly like this guy. He kind of hard griefs himself here. Oh my god. Oh, okay, that's troll. Hmm. Oh please. Oh, that's actually so sad. I forgot I wasn't. Oh my god, I'm actually so sad now. I forgot I wasn't watching.
Which ones?
Wait, was this the same run? Okay, yeah, the same run. Cool.
I mean, we have it
I
right.
forgot I didn't have like a
Yeah.
quick like I wasn't watching a highlight. I was watching the whole video, so I couldn't click like that.
Right.
Okay. Oh, and here we go. All right. So this guy kind of griefs. He runs in with his sword and shield out, and him running with the sword and shield, it's like, yeah, he's gonna take less damage, but to us, he is way less threatening.
I'm so
Sword and shield barbarian does like no damage, and because he decides to immediately back up here, I can start pushing forward. I can get hits off on him, and this is like the big thing that you just never want to do against a comp like this. Is you never want to be on the back foot when you're fighting triple melee comps. You want to always be, or triple DPS comps, or whatever. No healer comps is the best way to guess describe it. Is if he kept pushing forward here, like he has a cleric behind him, it's gonna heal him.
I'm
But because he backs off here, he now has like messed up in like a really awkward spot where look how grouped they are. The wizard's here, the barb's here, the cleric's here. He can't immediately back out because his wizard's right here and he's gonna get body blocked on him. So he gets stuck in this corner, and now he's trying to back up. He steps through, and then he lets me through because he's too like focused on blocking. That's the thing a lot of melees like kind of get messed up on is they get too focused on themselves in the fight and kind of
I'm so
forget the positioning they're in and where their team is. So because this guy tried like sitting here trying to block like this and he's not really paying attention, he lets me through the door. And now that I'm through the door, I pretty much have a clear shot straight to his backline. And am I gonna kill these guys fast? No, my kit's not. I mean, I have a purple arming sword. I don't have a lot of damage. However, they can't do anything. Like when I'm running at this wizard and this cleric, like look at him. They are completely useless. And their barbarian, look what the barbarian's doing. He's kind of sitting there AFK. And then I'm able to like I'm going on this wizard. The cleric's forced to sink, and the barbarian backed off to try to peel me off his wizard. That lets Chulo get in the fight, and now we have a double melee against their double caster. So I mean, it's it's there's not a lot there. It's 2 free. This kind of just shows the importance of being conscious of where you're at on the front line. Like a lot of people think frontliners are really, really easy and think that, that the job is really easy they can do. However, literally a tiny misstep, one small misstep will lose you the entire fight. And that is literally exactly what happens. This barbarian, he steps up right here too much. And because he stepped up and then tried to step back, he lost him the whole fight. Like the moment he started walking backwards here, the fight was over. And then if he held this doorway, it could have been salvaged, truthfully speaking, because we don't really push past them that well. Like, yes, we have wizard spells, however, we don't have sustain the way they do, and we're not going to burn through this barbarian. But, like, once again, because he's backpedaling here, he lets me into this room, and now a push that should be impossible for us just became completely unlosable for us. Right? And like I said, this is, and right here, one thing that's important to note is, like, yes, I could have gone on this cleric because he is close. However, if I do that, what's going to happen is one, the wizard either goes on me here, which you see he starts throwing magic missiles, or he starts throwing them at my team and locks my team out. And the thing is, like, yes, if I go on the cleric, I cut off their healing. However, if I go on the wizard, I cut off the damage because the wizard's the only person in the comp doing damage. And if I cut off the damage, my team is just completely free to play because all I have to worry about is the barbarian. And am I going to kill the wizard right away? No, because the cleric's still alive to heal him. But watch this wizard. From this moment, he literally does nothing else in this fight. And there's nothing he can do. Look at him. Like, even after this, he just literally, he does nothing and then he dies. He can't do anything. And, like, yeah, the cleric kept him alive, sinking, but because the wizard wasn't there to stop them, stop my team from coming in, Chulo eventually makes it in, and we just get to walk through. And the barbarian dies as well. And, yeah.
Wait, how are you guys both full HP?
That's funny. But yeah, I mean and that's it right there. Like I said, like this fight is like way more straightforward. There's not a ton to talk about here. There's like once again very very slight things. Like my decision to go in here. Like I think this is probably I think. Oh, let me just skip forward here. Like I think this is just one of those fights that it's hard to really sit down and like explain my thought process because this is one of the things. This is honestly one of the things I love about Dark and Darker. It is like split-second decisions that just determine the entire outcome of the fight. Like the second this guy ran in, I was hell bent on running back, and if he locks me out and he doesn't let me in, this fight could go entirely differently. But because he plays the way he does, I'm able to make it in here, and we're just able to win. And even if, like, even if his team, what they decided to do instead, if they decided to push in with him, this could have been way worse for me. Because if the wizard's just sitting there, like, let's say the barbarian pushed forward, I ran past him earlier. Where was that? Like,
Right.
let's say, come on, let's see this guy run forward. Okay, so right here, let's say this guy, when I go to sprint past him, let's say this guy keeps going like behind me, right? And he's on Apollo, I'm on the wizard. If this wizard sits in this door right here and gets perma healed, I can't kill him. I can't out damage a cleric's heals. It just isn't gonna happen. And the barbarian is way more threatening to their wizard or to my wizard because my wizard has no healing. Yes, I do have a melee there that is gonna damage, but keep in mind he just savage roared. He's gonna be taking hardly any damage. So then the two things that have to happen are either one, I have to turn around, which is difficult because now I have a wizard that's right behind me that's gonna be throwing spells, or two, I have to keep damaging the wizard and hope my team deals with the barbarian. And yeah, I just mentioned you gotta trust your team, but you have to trust your team within reason. You shouldn't trust them to, move mountains, because that's what killing this barbarian would try to feel like. And I don't know how low this guy is right here, but I mean, he's a barbarian, he looks pretty tanky. I doubt and I'm pretty sure this guy's like full MR, so I doubt he's that low. So yeah, that's kind of gonna wrap it up for the video.
I'm stuck.
I think the first fight was like a really good one to like explain. This one is kind of just one I want to include because while this one is simpler, this one has like a much more important like in-fight decisions. This isn't as much as happening like, before a fight or after a fight. This is like, you have to make the right decision at the right time, and if you don't, bad things happen. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And with that said, yeah, if you guys like this type of if you guys like this style of video, feel free to let me know in the comments. And yeah, maybe I'll do some more. But with that being said, catch you guys later. Peace.